Hello and welcome to the video help tutorial. Getting started, we're on step 4 now. We're actually going to be choosing our business location. How exciting now. So before you've hit this, you really need to have done your due diligence, and you need to have researched not only your business type, but also what sort of idea or theme or market you want to be reaching with your business, and what sort of products you'll be selling. So all of these sort of things need to have jumbled around in your head. So I wouldn't fly through this step. So if you're on this step, you need to make sure that you look at your the handout that you've downloaded, and to see sort of the things and the areas that you need to go and search for, or you can do a search in the manual under each of the these places. So you'll see that we're here. We see business navigation. We see some cute little icons. These are all the major cities that exist on Friday Island. So we see Friday Beach, Hospieville, Port Painter, Glacier Lake, Jack Point, Sterling Peaks, Twin Bay, and Rocky Range. So clicking one of these links, okay, will bring you a chapter in the manual under that area. So you'll see, look, I've clicked on Glacier Lake. It gives me a map of the area of Glacier Lake. It gives me sort of a legend at the top of the other places that I can do research on, and on the demographics, as well as all the other things that go along with a geographical area, the market. So we can look at Glacier Lake. Now, as I was mentioning, you should have some sort of idea of the market that you want to be reaching. For instance, if you have an ethnic food restaurant, or if you have an ethnic clothing store, then you need to make sure that you are in an area with ethnic people of that nature, but as well have an affluent set of clientele, whether it be Caucasian or other sort of demographical sort of persons that will be able to understand that culture and be able to afford to purchase that. So if you have a religious-based store, you need to make sure that you find that type of religion in that area. If you can't find it, and if you can't find that type of demographic, you need to move or find another area and do the research in that. So you'll see the average annual income of the area, the population. That's also should be really important. If you are opening up a children's store, or a children's clothing store, or a babysitting service, then you need to make sure that there's children in that area. So all those sort of factors come into play. You'll see that once we scroll down, there's climate averages, there's attractions in the area, there's other information like the city sales tax. But look, here's our ethnic groups, as we were talking about. And we can go through by population and by percentile, as well as religious affiliation, to then target market our business. And it's the most important thing, ladies and gentlemen, so that when you are looking to acquire a place, there's nothing worse than having to market really hard because you've picked a flat spot and it doesn't sort of suit your business's needs. It's a really big uphill battle that you'll be fighting. So you need to make sure of a lot of things. So do your research before you make you make your pick and make your decision. So let's go back to that registration step, and you can look at other places like Twin Bay, and it'll tell us that a browser has popped up, and look, lo and behold, there's Twin Bay. So there's lots of considerations for each area, and make sure that you go through that. Employment by industry, all those considerations, because that's going to eventually curb your your campaigns and your marketing and your advertising based on that as well. So okay, so now we understand where to find that. We can also go right to the manual, and where we were before in the last step, and we can just search on towns, or that town type. We go to demographics. That'll take us to an area and tell us a bit about demographics. It'll also give us a description of the towns, and look, lo and behold, the same information we can find right in the manual as well. And we can look at the island mini-map and look to see how everything's sort of put together on Friday Island, and go over all that information. So don't don't rush through this step. Now, when you are acquiring a location, you will be leasing a box. So it will be tricked all out based on what you do to the business. So it's a box on a parcel lot, and you'll be leasing that property. So you'll be outfitting it with the money that Orwell Dawes gives you to your liking. Okay, so you won't be encumbered by other issues. So it's a nice clean. You won't own that spot, so it actually won't become an asset. But the leasehold improvements that you do inside it will be will be assets for your business. So let's have a look to see what's on Friday Island. So if we click the vacant properties, on Friday Beach, we can see all the little things that will pop up. We can click on the fine dining, and that'll show us all the fine dining places. And if we hover over these places, it tells us who is located there. And if we click on that, it will give you a bigger breakdown on that on the information of that property. So, for instance, this is really important if you are opening up another fine dining restaurant. So when I clicked vacant, there wasn't any vacant properties at this time on Friday Beach. So that's not very good. So Friday Beach is maybe not a place where we can go at this time. Now, properties come and go weekly. So depending on when your course starts will denote what sort of vacant properties you can sort of be looking for. But giving you sort of the overview, you can also align yourself with other businesses. Let's say an events planning business, right? And you can actually find that individual, click on on that place, and find that person inside Friday Island on the simulation, and actually network with them to better your position in your business and align yourself. Maybe joint marketing efforts and creating an alliance. So if you want to change the town, we're in Friday Beach right now, just click on this downward arrow here, and let's say we were looking at Hospiville, which is the major sort of large city that exists on Friday Island. So hopefully maybe they have some vacant properties, which they do, which is great. So hovering over those places, you can click on that and learn more that there's no owner. The IPS location is really important. That's the island positioning system, much like a GPS coordinate in the real world that you'll see on everywhere now. It's just not all about street and addresses that way, but we actually give you a pinpoint X and Y coordinate of where your location is. It's a lot more simple to remember. So when you are looking for places, that's what you want to remember: the town and the IPS location that is under the vacant properties. So when you are looking, make sure that you don't throw all your eggs in one basket. If you see a few properties, write down 3 or 4 addresses of the IPS. And as I mentioned before, you can actually close this window, or you could log out of the system right now. And when you log back in, you will be brought to this area. So as I was saying, don't rush through this. You can come back, do more research, and then go through that process of leasing the property. So let's say this is the property I'm looking at. You can see down here the rent is $2,400, the taxes $600, utilities $250, and the insurance $200. Let's find out what my competition is around that. So if I wanted another hotel, wow, there's one over there, so it's quite far. So there. So if I'm opening up a hotel, although I'm a little bit off the beaten path, I'll have to do more marketing.